everybody, it's Mrs. New here. Hello. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make some wall pockets. So the first thing I want you to do with the wall pocket project is figure out what kind of shape you want to make. So there's a couple shapes I'm going to show you today, and there's all kinds of other ones too. This one is kind of an egg shape or an oval shape. You can do this one, which I kind of call the envelope shape. And this one is actually you start this one with a square, which I'll show you in a minute. You could do kind of a diamond shaped one, and you can do one that I call kind of a folded one, where you just sort of fold the bottom part up. So think about what you might use your wall pocket for. Do you want to use it for like a charging station for your phone? Are you going to use it for a plant? Are you going to use it for maybe some hair supplies in the bathroom, your spare change, your keys, something like that, as you come in the door? And you're going to prep your slabs. So what I want you to understand about pretty much all wall pockets is that they have a back slab and then the pocket part, right? The curved part. This part, sometimes you need a little bit of newspaper or something to kind of stuff in there and help you. But that's kind of the essential pieces, the back slab and the pocket. All right, so I'm going to show you how to start one using a hump mold. So the hump molds are back behind the wheels. You could do a circular wall pocket. That would be pretty cool, right? Here is the egg-shaped one. So this is the one that was used to create this wall pocket here. So you can decide, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how to use, I'll just show you the circular one for today. So you know that you're going to roll your slab through the slab roller, you're going to smooth it out, it's going to be nice and ready to go. Now you could put a texture mat on this. So I could find a texture, I could lay this down and roll it down so that my entire back slab has a texture. I could also wait on that and maybe decide to do something a little bit more like a stamp or something like that on my project. So I think I'm just going to wait for a minute, but I am going to create the back slab, and I'm going to use as much clay as I can. So I'm not going to put it in the middle. I'm going to put it off here to the side, and I am going to be cutting out a circle because I'm going to make a circular wall pocket. So I can go ahead and just draw using my hump mold here as kind of like a form. It is a form, and as a template almost. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out this circle shape the best that I can. Circles are kind of tricky because it's hard to get them perfect, but let's say I wanted to do something that was like a sun or a moon or something like that. Now see how I saved some of the slab over here, because I can probably make my pocket out of that part. So what I'm going to do now is this is going to be my back slab. So now I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to decide how to do the pocket part. So using my hump mold, I'm going to decide how far up do I want the pocket to go. And then kind of using this scrap piece, I'm going to go ahead and cut part of it straight. I think I can probably get my front pocket out of this. So let's see if I can make it happen here. So I am going to cut the front part straight, and then I'm going to just kind of drape this over the top. And I want to make sure I kind of have enough down here so that I have an area to slip and score. So I want to have a little bit of extra here, okay? And you can see why using the form is really, really helpful. I immediately have that nice pocket shape, and I'm just going to push in using my hand kind of around that form. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut this, okay? So I'm going to overshoot it just a little bit, meaning, you know, don't cut it super, super close to that form. Have a little bit of extra there, and I'll show you why here in a minute. So now that I've got my pocket, now I'm going to go ahead and put it onto the back slab. So here's where things get a little tricky. First of all, we'd want to slip and score this part, which of course my slip and score is across the room. But pretending I slipped and scored, I'm going to go ahead and carefully set this on here and start to sort of fit this together. So that's why having this little bit of extra clay is really, really helpful. In fact, let me just grab some slip because I want to actually make this and keep it. So, pardon me. You know me, I'm always forgetting something, grabbing supplies. So I'm going to move this over. I'm going to go ahead and kind of marked how far up that goes, but I am going to kind of slip and score this. I'm using my serrated rib, I'm using some slip, and I'm also going to just carefully do that on the pocket. So this would be the same if you were doing the oval. You would just be using the other form, the one that's more of an egg shape. Okay, but this is kind of where it gets a little tricky because you have to sort of fit it on here, And I could decide that maybe I want this to come down a little bit further. It's really just kind of up to me and how everything's fitting together. So I'm gonna just start to kind of push that in. Now, if I feel like my pocket is collapsing, what I can do is grab some newspaper, and I can kind of stuff it into the pocket. I could also use some paper towels, but this will help it kind of keep its shape as I'm blending this on there. So a couple things I could do here. If you've ever made like a pie or something, you can actually take your thumb and just sort of push it on there, and it can create kind of a cool design. I don't think I'm going to do that with this one. I think I'm just going to try to blend it. Word to the wise, if you are going to make a charging station, which this one is kind of like that, make sure to put a hole in the bottom so that you can put your cord through. So that's kind of a cool idea too. All right, the other thing that's really important with these wall pockets, you guys, is that they have holes for hanging. So it's important that they have 2 holes. The reason for that is so that you can put a string or wire or ribbon and actually hang them up on the wall. They don't work as well with just 1 hole. So I always suggest to do 2 holes at the top. You can use the hole puncher or the straw for that process. So now I've kind of got this going, and I didn't really do any texture on here, but I want to have something going on. So I'm going to try some stamps. Might be a little trickier to put it on the actual pocket part at this point, but I could give it a try here, just supporting it from the inside. But I definitely could still do something on the back slab, so I'm going to try to do that. Probably want to do most of my, if I'm going to do a texture mat, I'd want to do that before I cut out any of my shapes. But I'm just going to kind of give it a little bit of a texture here with this stamp. So there's other things you can use besides the texture mats. I would blend this, and then I would do 2 holes in the top for hanging. So that is how you do either the circular one or the oval one using the hump mold. Okay, so now I'm going to move on, and we're going to talk a little bit about doing a different shape. So I'm going to move this one over, but you could see how that will work. That would be really cool for like a planter or something. So let's talk about the envelope shape and possibly kind of like a diamond shape. So first of all, I want you to know that I have some templates in the room that are squares. They look like this. This is a 6 by 6. You can make a bigger one. It's super easy. You just take a regular piece of paper, fold it like this, and if you cut it here, you're going to get a perfect square. So if you want one a little bit bigger, this is what I would suggest. Or you can use one of the templates that I already have, but the biggest one I have is a 6 by 6 inch. So to do the envelope, it's kind of a trick. Basically, it's a square, 1 square slab. So instead of having kind of a back slab and a front slab, you cut out 1 big square and then you just fold it. Again, it's kind of tricky, but pretend that I'm doing this with a slab. So here's my envelope shape, and I would slip and score these pieces together. I could do the holes up here for hanging. You can see this person blended it in really, really well. You can leave some of the seams showing a little bit, but just make sure that it's slipped and scored together. So that's how to do the envelope one. And then to do sort of more of a diamond shaped one, you could do a couple things. You could use the square slab like this, or you could also use 2 of the triangle templates, but I'm going to show you how to do it using this square. So I've got a second slab prepared here. I'm going to take my rib tool and smooth it out, and then I am going to do a texture mat on this one because why not? So let me find a cool texture mat here. Let's see. This one's pretty good. Oh, I don't like that one. How about this one? This one kind of has a basket weave to it. So find the best part of your slab. You're going to roll it on there, use some pressure, try to use even pressure all the way. Give it a couple passes, okay? And then you're going to have some texture on there. So I'm going to go ahead and think about, again, the back slab, the front slab. So I'm going to cut out for my back slab first. So the whole shape is going to get cut out. And this one's going to hang on the wall this way. And then for the front slab of this one, basically, if I was to draw a line across here, that's going to be my front slab. So what I want to do is take, let's see, I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough clay here. I don't think I am. I'm going to take this template and make another piece. So let's just pretend here. Let's see if I can show you kind of what to do here. So pretend this fit a little bit better than it did. but I'm going to make another piece that's going to come out like that, but it's going to go straight across. See if I have enough here. So I want to figure out, let's see if I can make this straight. Yeah, I just really don't have a big enough slab, but if you pretend the slab's a little bit bigger, you can see what I'm doing here. So going from the corners down, that's going to make a bigger triangle, and then that triangle would go here as the slab in the front. And that's kind of what this person did here, although it looks like they sort of wrapped the slab around. So there's lots of different ways to do this. Another thing I've seen students do, let me grab one other template here. So if you use the 6 by 6 inch square, you can also do 2 triangles that come out here and here, like this. And this one creates more of a, I don't know, it's kind of like a diamond, but this comes out like that. So then that is the shape of that style of wall pocket. So that one's really geometric and it can look really cool. So hopefully you can kind of see what I'm showing. So that is also an option if you want more of a kind of a diamond shaped one. Again, 2 holes would go in the top for that one. So that is just a couple ways to do a wall pocket. There are many, many more. There's the one called I think I call it the ice cream cone or the waffle cone, where you literally just take it and kind of wrap the clay around until you create some sort of cone shape. Anything will work, okay? So the wall pocket's a really fun project. I would suggest sketching it out first, coming up with an idea, thinking about what the use is going to be, thinking about what you're going to use it for, and then deciding how to create the shape that you're wanting to create. Remember, the hump molds can be really, really helpful for this. Texture mats, any kind of stamps can be fun. So look around the classroom and see what kind of designs you like. And then of course you can always carve in your own design as well and do something that would match your decor in your home. Thanks for watching, you guys. I'm excited to see what you make this week.